Hello, this is going to be a super fast video on answered prayer. So, as I mentioned, my mom's like Mother Teresa, and we have been praying to get Viana's dad here into Geneva. And a couple days ago in the car, Viana asked Mom to say a prayer with her to get her dad here into Geneva. He's getting out of jail in 3 weeks, and I slept all afternoon, had the most wonderful day, and then just slept like a glorious rest, so good. And God is so good. So I woke up to a text message from Mom, and I woke up, I looked over, and I saw like text. I'm like, let me read this immediately. And it said, answered prayer, Vinny will be here in 3 weeks. So literally in 3 weeks, he's going to be within 1 mile of his daughter and his stepdaughter and his grandkids. And God's so good. The only family Vinny has left is his daughter, me, my children, and Mom, That's all he has left in this world. And now he gets to go straight from jail, where he lost his mom, where he was, to coming home to a family. So God is just moving in Vinny's life and Viana's life. And, like I said, bringing reconciliation to our whole family. So this has been a wonderful day. This is the healthiest I've been for the longest period of time. 90 to 95% of every single day since I got sick. I have been having severe cognitive issues, and today, just 100% of none of them. I haven't had a day that it wasn't 90 to 95% literally since October. So now to just have 100% symptom-free cognitively is just, and it's been lasting, it's been the entire day since the moment I woke up. And I was just telling Adam that one of the things that has been super uncomfortable throughout this is waking up, to the point like I feel super uncomfortable falling asleep because I know what it's going to be like when I wake up. So as I open my eyes, no matter how many times I fall asleep, even with the narcolepsy of all these different falling asleep times, I get really like, oh no, because I know what I wake up. And the second I open my eyes, the pain floods my body. I reach for my meds instantly. I wake up and instantly I want to throw up. It's filling it. Those, bit of time till they kick in is just agonizing. And then, when I wake up, most of the time I don't recognize where I am. I have to remember where I live. I have to figure out like who's in the house, who's not. Like, it's just, I wake up so discombobulated. Sometimes I don't, it's like the first time I see my room every time, and I have to walk through the house, and it's like every part of the house is the first time I'm seeing it. It's my brain wasn't retaining any short-term like images and memories. So every time I woke up, since I was already very sick when I moved in, I'd be like, walk in, trying to find the bathroom. And it was so like freaky because everything was like new every single time. And, I'd wake up and I'd have to remember I was sick, remember the pain coming rushing back, trying to remember, a lot of things. Like I'd wake up and just have to download a lot of information and be completely like just freaked the heck out. And now, every time I woke up since this morning was the first time ever since I got sick that I just woke up completely feeling normal and knowing where I was and recognizing everything. And it was incredible. And then I took a long nap after a really great day, and I woke up and I felt normal again. And I haven't had this amount of time ever, let alone the whole day of just mental clarity and awareness. And it's just, I say, my life's like 50 first dates, and that is true. I have to wake up and remember. And, some of the stuff that was was happening, that I had to have a hard talk with my best friend, was that, you know, like, I know I love you, I know I trust you, but my emotions from, you know, this, what is it now, 12-year friendship, they're wiped clean. Like, I look at you and I don't feel anything. It feels like you're a stranger. You know, I have little memories of certain things and pictures, and I know you were my favorite, and I know I loved you, but I don't have those emotions. So even trying to talk to you, it's like talking to someone that I don't have the history of feeling like I trust and love you, you know? So one day she sent me this video. There's a video of a woman being proposed to, and the woman's like, oh, you know, and then all of a sudden the woman goes, ah, and freaks out and starts jumping up and down and runs up and runs to her best friend and jumps in her arms and embraces her. And the husband's like, you know, and it literally just triggered something. Like, it was like all my memories of my feelings with her came flooding back. And I was like, this is my person. That is us. Like, that would be us at a proposal. Like, and, you know, both our husbands would be like, yep, they really love each other. They're best friends, you know, not surprised or offended, you know. And it just downloaded everything back. And I felt again that love, that trust. And I was like, wow. And I reached right out to her and I was like, I love you, but I feel it. I feel it again. I feel that I love you. I'm like, I miss you so much. I haven't been able to feel like I missed her. And we've never, ever been apart this long, ever. You know, I've spent more time with her than every person in my entire life. You know, we had sleepovers constantly when the kids were babies, and anytime they were out of school, and almost every weekend of our lives, you know, we'd just have the kids, and we were both single moms forever. So to feel, you know, and that's why I was avoiding her too, to talk to someone that you've been so close to, and now you're like talking to a stranger and not remembering major things about her life or her personality. And I've talked to her and I said, Jen, like, I don't know my role in our friendship. I don't remember how I act or you act or what we talk about or what we do. Like, I don't remember our friendship. And she said to me, then let's become friends all over again. And I was like, you know, maybe like our story in life is that we met, we became best friends in the world, loved each other. I lost my mind, all my memories, and we regained our love for one another and became best friends twice in this life, you know? And that's what happened. And like, as I was getting to know her again, I'd be like, you know what? I really like you. And now I remember why I liked you so much. And I'd always be blown away, like, you're really cool. You're really funny. And I got to like get to know her all over again. So that was really cool. I noticed, you know, I was more short-tempered, like less trusting with people that I trust more than anything in the world, because I couldn't feel that emotion anymore. And I would just have to go off my logic and not my emotion and wait for it to come back. So, you know, that's why I say it's like 50 First Dates. Like, she would wake up and have to see a video and remember all this stuff. And that was a lot of parts of my life, And, so when she sent that video, I was like, you knew exactly how to bring me back, you know? So I told her if, you know, she ever loses her mind, that I'm going to bring her back. And, I'm just so thankful that I've had her and rehab her. And, so it's been like a wild ride. So to wake up now and just think this is my room and have comfort, you know. So I was petrified, living alone, petrified. So a lot of the time I felt like a 4-year-old, literally like a 4-year-old or a teenager, or like I had Alzheimer's. And yeah, I go in and out of forgetting my own kids' names and cat's name, and I didn't recognize my face. So it was weird even doing lives, because I'd see me and not recognize me, or I'd be seeing colors on my face, or like different weird things. So like sometimes all the time actually, if I'm at church or something, I'm like, Ma, do I have lipstick smeared across my face? And I ask her constantly, and she'd be like, no. Or, you know, I'd be like, okay, because I see just red all over, you know, here or there. And, you know, sometimes I'd feel like I looked like the Joker and would have stuff smeared all over and there'd be nothing. So there was so much weird stuff. And, it's just nice to feel normal. And that figure skating video I posted is one of my favorite videos. And I, you know, started just kind of looking her up. And she calls it her SpongeBob. And it's kind of like this little thing. It's not a whole other personality, but it's you switch on and off to your beta brain, where you feel like a full-fledged kid, it's kind of weird. So anyway, like when this would happen at night, I would be petrified. I used to have night terrors and I was scared of the dark my entire life. I'm still scared of the dark. So as it would be coming closer and closer to night, my anxiety would be filling up and I'd be like, God, I don't want to be home alone, and I'd be so scared. Or, I'd be like, hey, Dante, were you planning on sleeping in the living room today? And he'd be like, no. And I'd be like, oh, okay, just totally wondering, or ask Amber, like, hey, and I didn't tell them why, but it was scary. It was really scary being home alone. And I've lived alone since 19. So to all of a sudden be so scared to be home alone, that was a weird feeling. And I remember one time my buddy Lex was over and all day I was praying like, God, I can't be alone. God, I can't be alone. And as it got closer and closer to nightfall, I was having full-fledged panic attacks. And then the day went on and he had a lot of work he was doing in the house with me and for me. And I shouldn't even say with me. I was pretty useless. So just for me. And he had a lot of stuff he wanted to get done the next day, and he lives over an hour away. So he's like, Ashley, would it be okay if I spent the night? And I burst out. Like, I was like, I've wanted this all day. Like, I was so scared all day. I was like begging God to not be alone tonight. Like, thank you so much for staying. And I was so comforted because, and I remember being at the hospital and I was talking to Nurse Nick and I was hysterical. And I was like, I am so afraid of being home alone. And I say home alone, like meaning not adult supervision, because I didn't feel like an adult. It was, obviously my son would be here, but I was so scared to be home alone. I was like, Nurse Nick, I just feel like a little kid again. Like I feel so afraid and I'm going to be home alone and at night. And, I'd sit here and I couldn't sleep. I went through a month of sleeping 2 hours a day because I had severe insomnia, and part of my severe insomnia, I was so scared to go to sleep. Like I would lay there and every bump, every noise, scared to check things out. Sometimes I'd be sitting here like, Jesus, what's that noise? And all the time I was just like, Jesus is my roommate, because in the natural, it's impossible for me to be living alone. It doesn't make sense. And he just kept, carrying me through, and it was a wonderful experience. And to now, this is the least amount of pain I've felt since, August. And, yeah, and my whole body. And it's the first time my back isn't burning. The first time I feel like I could hold up my spine just effortlessly. Like this is, I'd say like 75% the healthiest I've felt in everything, physically, mentally, emotionally. I just feel like the old me. I know I'm not in remission yet, but I woke up and I was like, I could taste remission. I could feel it. Like I feel so close, so close. And it just was really cool to wake up and just be like, I know every day I felt healing, but every single day it was baby steps. And literally the past 48 hours, it has been like a tidal wave of healing. And the more I follow Jesus, the more he puts thoughts in my head and things to follow. The more I follow, the more healing I get. Like obedience is so important. And I was rebellious and I struggled with obedience, but the moment I learned obedience, God was able to move mountains and record pace, and I've had some repentance recently with my pastor and a new level of commitment to God, and I'm going to be getting rebaptized and stuff. And since I took it up that extra notch, God took it up that extra notch, and he met me right there where I was. And it was really nice. And I literally feel every single speck of my body. It usually feels like every bone is crushed. I spend a huge amount of the day just tears streaming down my face every single day, and I haven't had to cry at all. Nothing feels crushed right now at all. Nothing, I might go for a walk since it's still early in the day and I feel so great and I just want to be in the world and So I think I'm gonna bundle up and take a walk right now, because if I don't do it now, it's gonna hover over me, and then it's gonna be in the middle of the night, and I'm gonna be like, I should go, knowing nobody wants that. So I'm gonna do the responsible thing and take a walk now. But I can't believe how wonderful I feel. So I really just want to help everyone that has this disorder heal, because healing's possible. And to go from the level of pain I was at these few days to just feeling healthy is like, you God. So I always listen to that song, like, can he do it? Yes, he can. So healing was always coming, but I didn't know when, and I surrendered that. So it wasn't even something I really thought about. It's just ready when you are, God, and that's it. So right now, to just not feel any pain at all, and for a huge portion of the day to just feel so healthy for so long has been remarkable. So keep following Jesus in everything you do, because there's nothing better. He'll heal everything, every hurt, every pain, every trauma. He's just swept through my life and the life of my family like a tidal wave, cleansing everything out of mom, out of me, out of, the kids. My daughter is the nicest she's been to me since like 7 years old. Today she messaged, I shouldn't have been so hard on you. She'll randomly message, I love you. And we're just becoming best friends, and we had a really rocky time. She was bad as hell, and God is just healing. Yeah, he is so good. Yeah, God is so good. He healed everything, not just me, everything, my family. He's healing Vinny. Vinny's had a really rough time. My stepdad, he's got schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, multiple personality disorder. So they hit in your later 30s. So he met mom so young. He's still in his 20s. So once he hit his mid 30s, it was like a switch went off. You see my adobo and my rosemary bread. My room's actually really clean. So it's funny, like I was forgetting things for a while, and Adam was coming over, and I was sitting here just resting, waiting for him to get here. And all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, girls clean their room for boys. And I like leaped up, and I realized like my room was so messy, and I was like, whoa, I got my work cut out for me. And it took me the whole day to clean my room, all day. I was like, how did it get so bad, So I got it 100% clean, and I was so proud of myself. And I was really glad to get that memory of like, Ash, clean your room. This is this is what women do if you're having someone over. And yeah, typically, you would just not be in your bedroom. You would be, in the living room, dining room, kitchen, whatever. But since it's the only room with like TV or music, and the only room with my bed, and I was still needing to be completely in bed and at certain angles, so we end up hanging out in my room kind of like teenagers now. So it was like, I gotta clean my room, and it was like that feeling of kind of when you're a teen, and you're like, boy's coming over, and you're like, and you are trying to make everything perfect. It was kind of like that, but I did make everything perfect. So that was cool, that was really cool to be able to do that on top of everything I had going on with the landlord, to then be able to perfectly clean my room. So it's just God's been working miracles. And I did call the library today to specifically request Valentine's Day for my first speaking engagement, because I'm going to do it on love. And I'm going to, with my food stamps, I could get the hearts of chocolate. So I'm going to get some boxes of like those little dollar Valentine hearts, so that all the kids that come could get a Valentine on Valentine's Day. I might get some of those chocolate roses from Dollar Tree too. I'm definitely going to get them. I don't know why I said my daddy-o, that's my grandpa who passed, every single year for Valentine's Day, he would get me a chocolate rose, and it was something so special to me. So I want to give some girls a chocolate rose. And my entire life, I didn't get a Valentine. I got one once, and I was 13 years old, and it was a stuffed animal, and it said, Won't you be my honey, baby? I think you're cute and I think you're funny. Be my Valentine, or something like that, exactly. If I put some time into it, I'll remember it word for word. I know it said, I think you're cute and I think you're funny, be my Valentine. I just remember, I forget the first half. Anyway, that's the only Valentine I ever got my whole life. And, every Valentine Day, I'd be like, oh God, nobody likes me, you know? So that chocolate rose, I would get that chocolate rose, and then I'd get 24 red roses from my dad. And, the reason I have the eucalyptus in my arrangement is, so every Valentine's Day I get the 24 red roses. And the floral shops in Long Island, they had huge sprigs of rosemary in all their rose arrangements, and that was my absolute favorite part of the flowers, was that there was eucalyptus in it. So I put the eucalyptus in that arrangement, kind of just to remember like the good parts of childhood and that good memory that I had with my dad. So I get to so I get to like give all these little girls now a little chocolate rose, and the chocolate hearts I found too. I found ones that are just like little dogs, so I'm gonna get those because they're a little bit more boyish. And then when I bought that the treasure chest that I filled with all that jewelry, I still have all that, so I'm bringing all that. I have about 25 little god things that are either necklaces, earrings, bracelets, or keychains, or dog tags. They're all spiritual based. They're all different. So I'm going to bring all of those too. And what I'm going to do is, like, each of the hearts, I'll tape one piece of jewelry to, like each of the dog things and each of the rose things. I'll just tape one piece of jewelry to each, so each kid gets will basically choose the piece of jewelry they want, since the candy's the same. So they'll all take that. And I spoke to Wendy and I left a message specifically to do Valentine's Day, and with the person that chooses the exact day you did it. And then so I'm really pushing for Valentine's Day, because every Valentine's Day in my life has been absolutely horrible. There's actually not one Valentine's Day my whole life I haven't cried hysterically. Not one. So, to have this Valentine's Day be my very first speaking engagement and something I'm so passionate about, it's going to be really good. So this one, I'm actually not going to do on bullying. I'm going to do it on self-love and love for others, and just really focus on how you treat everyone. Since it's a holiday, I want to keep it super upbeat. Nothing really about bullying, but just make it all about love and set like a real good precedence. And then the future ones at the Boys and Girls Club and Epic Zone and all that, I'll focus more heavily on, sorry, I got a text, and but I'll focus on whatever it is I want to focus more heavily on. So I'm gonna go and take a walk and enjoy this beautiful night. And I'm super, super excited to get out. And I had a delicious lunch. We got food from Phoenix, and it's Puerto Rican food. So I got to have my plantains, which I love. And then I got super, 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 super excited because yuca is one of my favorite things in the world. And anytime I go do my Walmart grocery order at Walmart, it's sold out, and Wegmans doesn't have it. So Price Right in Rochester is the only place I've been able to find fresh yuca. So I've been really, really wanting it. So what I did was, I walked in and they have like all the food out, and there was a whole thing of yuca, and I was like, no way. So I got to have yuca, and it was delicious. So it was like the best lunch ever. And, I ate an absurd amount, which was nice. And, typically every single time I've ever eaten, it's been a drag, because instantly my stomach completely swells up and my intestines, would tangle, and I'd get instantly nauseous, and I'd throw up most times. And even if I didn't throw up, the pain was so severe. I knew the second I ate, it was going to be horrible. So I stopped eating when I had anyone around. I'd like make dinners for everyone else, and I'd have to wait till everyone left to eat because I knew I'd instantly have a horrific reaction. So this time I ate a ton, and it was the very first time like I got a little swelling, but no pain. It was like a 2 or 3, you know, usually it's like 7 to 10, you know, no, just a regular people pain, and no nausea, no vomiting, no, you know, sometimes right after I'd start getting seizures or muscle spasms, like my body would work so hard to digest. I'd have a million symptoms. And this time I just ate and I felt great. And we got to watch, so I was really into doing like ventriloquy. I don't know how to say it properly, but I wanted to be a ventriloquist as one of my many expeditions as a kid. So, I used to have like this doll and practice all the time, and I loved it. And now I'm getting another doll that's a ventriloquist doll. So today there's this famous comedian. I don't remember his name, but he's famous and he has all his dolls. And he has one that's like an old man named Walter, and he has one that's like a jalapeno, and he has a bunch of them. I'm still learning them because today was the first time I ever watched it. But he has all these little different ones, and he's hilarious and he's so talented, and he is a man that knew who he was from childhood, and he was unapologetically himself. Like, he knew who he was and he stuck to it and was true to that, and now he's doing what he's loved his whole life. You guys have to watch his backstory. I'll post it. Oh, I didn't tell you the best part about this. We're gonna go see him. Adam and I are going on March 20th to see him. He'll be in the area. So I'm gonna bring my doll. Adam said he's getting 2 seats, one by me and one away from me. So when I start being weird, he's just gonna casually shimmy to the other seat and be like, I don't know that lady. So I'm gonna bring my doll. I'm gonna put my doll in my tote bag. So, but at the end, I'm gonna take her out and ask him to sign her for me. So I'm really excited. Really, really excited because he's hilarious and it's awesome and it's something I really want to do. So that's, what I'm gonna watch tonight and start learning how to do ventriloquy. I gotta learn how to say that word, but I'm gonna learn that. So maybe I'll do some videos for you guys. I'm definitely, Amber's really into the same stuff as me. Like, we have a ton of shared hobbies and interests. So I can't believe I can move around. Literally, my hips don't hurt, my knees don't hurt, my elbow. I'm holding my phone. Usually I can't hold the phone with you guys because the wrist, and I haven't been able to hold my phone this long. My hands and wrists usually will not allow it. Now I could hold a phone. So I just feel I could literally spin and dance down the street, which I might do that. Make like a video in my brain, a little music video, just jamming out, because I just feel so great. Like, it's incredible. God's so good. And, I don't know. So I'm really excited to watch that tonight and learn some of like, I need to learn how to like laugh without moving my mouth at all. So that's going to be how I spend a lot of my time right now, is learning how to be a ventriloquist. So when I go, March 20th, I'm going to take out my doll and do a whole skit for him. And I do believe I'll end up being able to talk to him because I really, really want to. And, if for some reason I don't get to like talk to him, here's my plan. I'm just going to take out my doll because I think nobody else is going to bring a doll. So just like if we're not talking, and I'll just have my doll up here and he'll see my doll and then he'll come over and talk to my doll because his doll will want to talk to my doll, because it's not too often that, you know, these ventriloquist dolls get to meet other dolls. You know, they already know all each other that he works with. So I think that doll's gonna be like, hey, I want to go meet her doll. So I think it's gonna pan out. That's another reason I'm bringing my doll. So I'm gonna bring the tote that Phyllis got me because I love it. It's like this black leather tote, and it's just so pretty, and it's so special because it came from Phyllis. So I'm gonna bring that with my doll, and I'm gonna wear something super colorful. It's my goal to super stand out to make sure he comes and talks to us. So I'm glad Adam's already pre-planning a seat away from me because he's going to be wanting to use it. probably half a dozen times throughout the night, and definitely when my dog comes out. So I can't wait. And I might get a matching outfit to my doll. When I say I'm going to look up baby doll outfits that like match. They have like it's called Mommy and Me. So they have like the mom outfit and a little kid version. So I'm going to look up some Mommy and Me outfits to make sure that we're wearing the same outfit. Because that's going to make for some really cute pictures. And honestly, maybe we'll bring Amber. No, we won't. She has really bad social anxiety, and no, I take it all back. Sorry. So Amber, if you see this and you saw you got invited and quickly uninvited, we'll plan something else. But I'm super excited to get, Mommy and Me matching pictures with my doll and get pictures from that night and hopefully get it signed and hopefully take a picture with him and his dolls. So it's just going to be a really great night. So I can't wait for that. And I'm going to go take my walk and just kind of spin down the street and jog and run and skip. And yeah, I can't wait. I'm going to walk downtown and just enjoy the lights and my time with God and having no pain. And yeah. All right. Bye, guys.